many options than what we could have made. A body, we could have created something brand new. But what I did is I took a shape that I loved and I felt was a really classic and classy looking guitar, which is the ML, something I've been playing for years, and just customize it for my playing needs. So what we added was 24 frets, which is something that no MLs have. All MLs are always purely 22. So we added the 24, and in the factory we actually did a special carve away thing for my hand, so that way it makes it way easier to play at the higher frets. Because most guitars, it bulks out around this area and it becomes really annoying to play with that big heel. So we shaved the heel down and moved the strap peg down. Guitars made of mahogany, and custom pickups, the MKH 86 pickups, which is something that's been voiced exactly to the sound that I wanted for my guitar. And yeah, one volume knob specifically in the place of the middle volume knob, because I found that this one was too close to the whammy marks, like do the squeals, and keep this, you know, far enough away from everything else so one affect playability, and just have one master. I don't like to mess with too much crap on my guitar. The Trivium circle at the 12th fret, nothing else except for the side markers. T, the MH signature, which will be the MKH signature. It's just MH on this one because I messed up. And that covers about everything except for the beautiful paint job, the Rising Sun Japanese flag guitar. So.
Your custom pickups, right? Your pickups, your signature pickups on that as well.
Yeah, the MKH 86 ones sound great and looks great.
All right, I took the option B of designing my own shape, kind of. I've been playing V's for a long time, and I was playing the Razorback, and I wanted to come up with a V shape that was, something unique to myself. So came up with some other ideas, and then one day it came down to Dean, and me and Josh from Dean sat in Elliot, owner of the company's office, and just had a piece of paper and a pencil, and just started drawing different V shapes, putting different cutouts in different places, and seeing what worked and what didn't. And we wanted to come up with something that was really unique and cool, but not something that would just ridiculously, stupid looking or whatever. So ended up coming up with this shape that I really liked, and it's a different version of a V, which, as you can see, doesn't look like anything else. So I was really happy with how the shape came out, and as the same thing as Matt, we play live and stuff. I don't mess with like a tone knob or anything. It's just a volume knob and a pickup selector. So just kept it simple, so there's not as much crap to deal with. And Floyd Rose, 24 frets, which when I was playing the Razorbacks, they were 22 frets. So I wanted the 24 frets. And when we were at the custom shop, when it was put together and it was just wood, shaved the neck down pretty thin. So it's a C neck shape, and it's actually pretty thin compared to some of the other guitars they make. So I like thin necks that are played really fast. And other than that, it's got my signature Ascension pickup, which was really cool. It's got a really good sound, really heavy, really good for the kind of stuff we play for metal. You can do it's really good for pinch harmonics on the high strings. It just shrieks. It's just got a really good output, and for soloing it's awesome, and then for rhythm it's just it crushes. So really happy with how that came out. And actually that was pretty they're pretty fast at making them. Really easy to communicate your ideas of what tone you're shooting for, and they build them pretty fast. So I'm really stoked to how it came out. It plays great and it sounds awesome. So couldn't be happier with how it came out.
I guess we wouldn't really know the difference whether we were the different company or we were older or whatever, because we've never been with another guitar company.
Kind of.
We kind of were, but they didn't really talk to us.
The difference, even just with guitars or just any endorsement company, it's working with Dean is so much easier than any company that we've worked with. They're just really easy to work with. It's kind of like family. Like they really want to make sure everything we get or anything we want is exactly how we want it and up to par with our standards. And they're really easy to get a hold of, and
we live 2 hours away.
Yeah, that helps. And it's like anything happens where we need a guitar or we have an idea for something, we can get right a hold of even Dean himself and Elliot, the owner. We can just go right to the top. And some other companies we work with, like for guitars and stuff, you'd be going to this guy, you had to talk to this guy, you had to talk to this guy, and you'd take like months and months even to just get one guitar. It's just so much easier. It's got like a in like a small company vibe, but it's, you know,
Yeah.
a pretty big name. So it's, you know, they're great to work with, and you know, we love it. You know, they treat us really well, and you know, there's not many other guitar companies at the, you know, at the point we were at when we switched to Dean that would have taken care of us as well as we were. We would have just kind of been like, you know, whatever to somebody else, but they really liked what we were doing, and you know, they treated us great, and you know, we just grown with them, and now, you know, we got these, so it's great to have our guitars have the fucking Dean logo on it.
Yeah, it's great. They build exactly what we, you know, what we saw in our minds, which is something as guitar players always want. No one can ever find that guitar until they actually build it ground up. And yeah, so they take great care of us and wouldn't be with anyone else ever. Very generally, it has the elements of what any fan of Trivium and what the four of us would say is our sound. So everything we've ever done right is in there, and that next level of sound included.
We're still early in the stages. We haven't actually gone to record the album yet. We've just been writing
We have a lot of
and making
demos.
demos. We got a lot of stuff, some really super heavy stuff, some, you know, some really fast stuff, some slower stuff. You know, it's like we've kind of hit a whole spectrum of different stuff, but it's all Trivium's. It's pretty in-your-face heavy stuff, and we've added some, you know, new little elements in there. But you know, I think people who, you know, been listening to us since the beginning, there's a lot of stuff, you know, kind of style-wise coming back on this one that maybe was missing on the last one. So I think a lot of people are gonna be really excited about it. There's lots of, you know, wicked guitar stuff going on, and just everyone in the band's just gotten better. So just like, it's just got a lot more going on, and it's really interesting stuff. We're all really stoked about it. So can't wait to get it finished and out there. So it's gonna be fun end of the year, you know, getting back out on tour and getting a new disc out.
I think it's a little bit of everything, yeah, because you know, there's some bands that have been around twice as long as us who haven't played as many shows as us, or have played the same amount in 10 times the amount of time that we did it. I don't know, I think there's no exact pinpoint thing that we can figure out on why or what or how. All we could say is that, you know, we've got 4 people that really work well together with an amazing team that works with us on stage, behind the scenes, you know, our management teams, all that stuff, and then we've got like the best fans in the world. So I think that all those things really attribute to us striving to make the best stuff possible.
Not yet.
We're gonna do the record first.
We got some things, you know, in the works, just talking wise, but you know, we can't really totally start busting out tour schedules and dates and stuff until the record's done, so we have a general idea of at least when it's coming out to kind of schedule tours around. So hopefully everything goes right and there's no problems. Hopefully the record will be out in the fall, hopefully September, October. That's what we're shooting for, but we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully everything goes smooth, that it happens. So. There's been a few. I think our last tour over in England on the Black Crusade with Machine Head, we played some really cool places, and some of the places we played with Maiden as well. So really cool to play the big arenas. You know, it's just a lot more fun. The bigger stages to do more stuff, and also backstages are a hell of a lot better. They actually have some room to do something.
Yeah, it's so hard to pick. There's so many good ones.
Norva and Norfolk, Virginia is always fun.
Yeah, that was the last one here in the States was like one of the best U.S. shows. The White Rabbit's always amazing in the States.
It's not a very nice venue, but it's always a good show.
The last time we were in Japan, Loud Park was incredible. There's just every single one.
Australia, there's so many nice places to tour. And even places that you play that the crowd's awesome, but maybe the venue's kind of subpar, okay, you know, kind of a grimy place to play, but you know, the fans always, you can play in like, you know, some back alley, you know, someone's backyard or whatever, and people show up, it's going to be a fun time, so it doesn't really matter where we play as long as people show up.
I think when it comes down to Trivium fans, they're the same everywhere. They're the same no matter what country you're talking about, whether it's Japan, Australia, US. But if you're talking about new fans, I mean, even if you go city to city in Florida alone and you're opening up for a different tour, each city's slightly different. You know, city to city in the US is just a difference between, you know, country to country. So if it's our fans, they're the same. They're just as amazing everywhere. But when it's like you're touring with some different tour, they're different everywhere. You know, every single place, city to city in the States, can be just as weird.
Crowds of people come out to
Yeah.
different shows. We always, you know, the reason we're out there is to, you know, put on a show for the people who paid to see us. So, you know, we're very serious about preparing for a show. You know, we always sit down and practice for a while to make sure we're, you know, ready to go. Everyone warms up their instrument. You know, all the singers, you know, warm up to make sure, you know, you can put on the best show possible. And you know, we just go out there and kick ass. And then, you know, once you get the most important part, which is the show out of the way, that's when you can have some fun and kick back and, you know, have some drinks or, you know, do all the crazy stuff that people always hear about that bands do on tour. But you know, we always make sure that, you know, we get all our, you know, obligations out of the way with, you know, doing interviews or press or stuff like that, and playing the show. So it's the reason we're out on tour is to play the shows. So you don't want to screw that up and make people, you know, disappointed and coming out.
We don't really know what's going on. I mean, we kind of just worry about what we got going on. So I don't know. We don't really know what's going on. We don't really know who's in, who's out. It's different every month.
I think it's, well, the coolest thing, at least for me, since I'm a fan of like older thrash bands, that it's been really cool. A lot of the older like Bay Area bands or just older thrash bands from like the 80s and stuff are all kicking back. Like, you know, Exodus's new album, I really like that. Record rocks. Like the New Testament record comes out, which I've been waiting for like fucking 10 years. So I'm really excited about that. And like, you know, Metallica's coming out with a new record. The last Megadeth record was awesome. And there's just been a lot of the older bands like who might have deviated from like playing like the thrashier stuff are kind of coming back into the style that they started off as. And some of the bands have just been rocking it, you know, the whole time. So a lot of the bands that you know, kind of started the scene and made it what it was and what it is for like the bands today who are inspired by them are all, you know, coming back with vengeance and showing everybody, you know, the older bands can still fucking kick everyone's ass. So that's cool for me as a fan perspective. But as far as new bands, I don't really look into who's coming up or anything like that because we're pretty zoned in on our own thing at the moment.
Started touring in April of 2004. We just finished, what was it, like a month ago? 2 months ago?
December 14th, I think, was the last show.
So in like 3 years to do 600 shows. I think of that in itself generalizes just
And
a
record
huge,
2 albums.
Yeah. recorded 2 albums and wrote for 3. Or 4 if you count Rotor United, and 5 if you count Capernaum. So there's just so much happened. It's crazy, and it happened
It's
in
like
such
a blur.
it's such a
It's
fast
hard
amount
to
of
pick
time.
out specific things. You have to really sit
Because-
there and think about it or have someone spark your memory.
Yeah, because from the time we started touring, literally everything happened. I mean, our Ascendancy came out, Crusade came out. We did the biggest shows of our lives, the smallest shows of our lives, the biggest tours of our lives, had first ever everything. So that whole time had literally just about everything. That's with the exception of the band forming. Yeah,
A lot of firsts.
Yeah.
All the time. A lot of
got our
popping
lineup solidified. Yeah.
popping cherries.
Shepherd is chased by the wolves.
It's awesome, you know, all of us in the band, even when we were younger, just all doing our separate things, was all like, dude, all I want to do is be a band and make music and tour the world. That's all I thought about it. We all got together and, you know, and it happened. It's just, sometimes like when you sit back, like if you get off tour and think about what you just did, and it's like, it's pretty rad that, you know, we get to do exactly what we always dreamed of doing, and having people that look at us like we did to our heroes when we were younger, learning our instruments and listening to music, and have people look at us like that. It's pretty crazy to think about it like that. But it's a lot of fun that we get to do, you know, get to play music for a living and get to entertain people and stuff like that. It's just, you know, it's the best thing in the world. You know, I couldn't imagine doing anything else. I'd be pretty miserable. So I love it, everything about it. You know, even on a shitty day, people are in a bad mood or something bad happens, you just got to think to yourself, like, it could be worse, you know, it could be digging a ditch or picking up trash on the side of the highway or something, you know, something you don't really want to do. So, you know, it's every day is awesome just to having the opportunity to do what we do and to get to meet people, play with bands that we grew up listening to. So it's pretty kick-ass.
You know, when I was 12, I knew that what I wanted to do was be playing shows, and that's exactly what I'm doing. So, haven't derived or deviated from haven't deviated, not derived, haven't deviated from the goal at all my whole life. So,
That's why we've
this is
done
my first job.
busted ass doing it. That's why we've done so many shows. It's just non-stop. Just play as many shows as we can, get our name out. It's a lot of hard work to build up a fan base and to get people to hear you and stuff. So we didn't slow down or slack off. You know, we just totally went full bore into it. You know, if we want to make this our career, you know, you gotta. It's like starting your own business. You got to put a lot of hard work and love into it before, you know, it starts going somewhere. So, you know, we just nonstop fucking went for it. And I've seen a lot of places and got to do a lot of things or been to a lot of places that not a lot of people get to go to. So it's a great experience.